Hey everyone. Well, allergies are kicking and I sound like a man, so I'm sorry about that today. I just wanted to let you know yesterday there was I don't even know what to call it, gathering, a conference, or it wasn't a rally. Stand Up Michigan went to Holland, Michigan, and the Save America bus tour was there with Real America's Voice or America's Voice. Um, oh, let me see. What is it? Is it real? Bear with me a second, folks. Um, Anywho, Live from America was there, and they had the. It was really great. It was really informational. There were a lot of people there. They had the people from Stand Up Michigan. They had Ron and Tammy, and I can't remember the other girl's name. I want to say her name is Christina. Anyways, but Christina Caramo, the candidate for SOS for here in Michigan, that's running against what we have now, our lovely Benson, who is whatever out there. But it was really encouraging to see because she didn't go there to she wasn't like campaigning. She wasn't, Christina Caramo, she wasn't there to, hand out cards and kiss the babies. She was actually there to hear what Michiganders think. What do we want? She was there listening to the voice of Michiganders. What are your concerns about Secretary of State? What are your questions, concerns? You know, and she answered. She talked to so. I watched her, and I was really impressed. She definitely got my vote. Smart, very smart, and mind you, she's the one that went down to AZ, the desert state, to take a look at what's going on with their I don't even know how to say it. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to get dinged. But anyways, so she went down there and she was one of the people from Michigan. Actually, I think she was like the only person, but she really isn't part of our legislature yet. Anyways, anywho, I was really moved. The pastor at I think it was Lighthouse Baptist Church. I think that's what the name of it. I don't remember. It was Lighthouse is all I remember. But this pastor was interviewed on I just don't even know what to tell you. Um, no. America's Voice Live. I think that's what it is. Yeah, America's Voice is it's a news channel, and it was really interesting because if you sit and listen and you listen to people talk, I listened to a lot of people from all over Michigan that came. Here in Jackson County, there was another lady that was there from Jackson. It was really, I didn't know, but I met this lady and she was really, really super nice. We exchanged information and numbers because she feels too, and she's heard and seen of of the trafficking that happens here, and she's had friends and concerns, and um, so it's not like all in my head, and it was really nice to um, have that affirmation. I went with family. I brought one of my grands, who just absolutely and just had a great time. They were so kind to her. The kids, all the kids took part. It was really great. Um, the pastor there was amazing. I was born and raised Catholic, so this is just me kind of like just doing an opinion piece. I guess I'm not reading any news. I'm just telling you about what I did yesterday, where I went, how it made me feel, and if it resonates with you, let me know. Leave a comment, hit the like, subscribe, share it. Really, whatever. Um, I have I have a heavy cross on my house. A lot of what my cross is are choices that I've made. Not always the greatest choices, not the smartest choices, but they're choices that I made. So I have to hold myself accountable for that. Which is why I always say, be nice to each other. Be nice to people, because you don't know the cross that everybody bears. And just because I'm telling you about my cross doesn't mean my cross is any less important or your cross is any less important or difficult than mine. Which is why we have to remember to be kind to each other. Because we don't know. People don't walk around being like, oh man, I got this going on, I got that. Because a lot of people really don't care. And they don't, they'll be like, hey, how you doing? You know what you really want me to tell you? Yeah, no, I didn't think so. So anyways, just, that's my take on, please be kind to people. Remember that you don't know. You don't know. And people are really good at wearing masks. We're really good now. The government has taught us how to be really good about wearing masks. And we, for a year, didn't see people's expressions and faces, and all you saw were eyes. That's all you saw. So, it's going to be hard for people. But I agree with something that Ron from Stand Up Michigan said, and he goes, we don't want Michigan to have a new normal. We don't want there to be a new normal. We want our freedom, all of our freedom. And it's so important to surround yourself with like-minded people. I remember talking about learning pods and stuff like that, because we just don't know. I told you that money that Michigan had a couple months back, and I wonder what it was going to be saved for. Well, and then we find out, hey, she wants to start, next year, in this next school year, our Tyrannosaurus Rex wants to start testing our kids, whether they've had the jab or not. And that's just ridiculous. It seems ridiculously stupid to me. There's no science behind, I don't understand. I don't understand that. But I wanted to tell you that, I really needed that yesterday. I really needed to feel God's presence. I do a lot of talking on my own. I don't use a middleman. I haven't found a church that I liked for a long time. I was born and raised Catholic. I never felt like I belonged. I kind of like pick and chose because I didn't like, what they said, I didn't like having to use a middleman to confess my sins. I know how bad I was. I know the shitty choices that I've made. I know the bad things that I've done. Why do I have to go to another human who's no better than me to confess my sins? That was a really big issue to me. And to me, growing up, and even as a kid, I remember feeling like that doesn't make me feel close to God, telling someone else. I need to profess myself. I need to have a one-on-one connection with God. And I've never found that place where I feel like I belonged. And, talking to this pastor a little bit and listening to him through his interview, it really, I wish I lived in Holland. I wish I lived closer to that church. I think I would go. Here in Jackson, I've looked for Catholic churches because that's all I know. And I'm a little bit scared. I have PTSD. I have agoraphobia. So I'm a little bit scared to venture out to a new church and try something new. But that guy, and I think he knew. I think God puts people in your life for a reason, and sometimes it's just really amazing how you just get blown away. That's Mom's. Mom gave me that. Where did I put that? He gave me this yesterday. And it said God's simple plan of salvation. It's called Lighthouse Baptist Church in Holland, Michigan. And he told me to read it, and then it's got his name and his number on it. And he said, you can call me anytime. He goes, call me. And, I just was blown away. And the lady that was from Jackson as well, we both looked at him and we said, God, we wish you were closer. And he said that they're going to be coming to Jackson. And we're going to be looking out for them. We're going to be looking for them to come to Jackson and finding a place where we feel like we belong. And I don't know. I don't know. But a lot of people I heard talking to Jeremy felt similar things, that last year when our Tyrannosaurus Rex closed down churches, and the pastors and the priests and the clergy, those in charge that are supposed to advocate for Jesus, didn't stand up to the tyranny and say, you can't shut us down. We are above you. We work for Jesus, not for the government. And Jesus is over the government. And because this pastor stood up. He stood up for his church. He stood up for his flock and said, I'm not closing down. And that's, and I think that's an issue a lot of people had, because they're the person they go to, which, that middleman didn't stand up. Like you hear about that one, I think he's in Canada, Pastor Arthur, who was arrested for holding church services. If this doesn't scare you folks, it really should. It really should. But I wanna tell you, I made, I don't know if you want to call it a Lisiphany, because it's not really an epiphany, but I had an epiphany sitting there one of my many late nights that I can't sleep because of a rabbit hole I went down with my grandkid for my daughter. I don't sleep well at night. And I realized something. Where we are today, I'm going to hold myself accountable for it. And you need to think about this too. We allowed them to take God out of everything. We did. And now they want to completely take him out of our life. They tried last year by shutting down the churches. And we didn't stand up for God. We didn't stand up and say, no. The Constitution, our forefathers, they mentioned God. They talk about God and all this stuff. Religious freedom. I mean, why would they have brought this up in writing constitutions if they didn't have an inkling that something may go wrong? We didn't stand up for him, guys. We didn't fight for Jesus. Clay Clark, I saw in an interview with the Frog News Network, which is a decent, they've got pretty good intel if you want to watch and follow. They're pretty good guys. I like them because they close with a prayer, which is nice. And they're good guys. And they send people out on the ground, boots on the ground. They're good guys. But they were interviewing Clay Clark. They were talking to him. And Clay Clark said something so important, because he's doing these wellness shows and tours and going on and teaching, and he's got so much information. Clay Clark he is like a plethora. He is like a cornucopia of information that is just so here, there, and everywhere. It covers a little bit of everything. But he said that he wasn't going to stop doing these shows until everyone in the world was chanting Jesus. You know how at these rallies they USA, USA. He said he wasn't going to stop until the world was chanting Jesus, Jesus. And I thought, how beautiful that would be. What a beautiful thing that would be if we all stood up for God. Because I don't know deep into other religions. I've got, skimming the top of other religions. But if I'm not mistaken, I do believe we all died, that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. At least that's what they teach in the Catholic religion. That Jesus died on the cross for our sins. The agony in the garden, one of the rosaries, one of the many. or the few that you have. Anyways, the agony in the garden, he knew. He knew every sin that was going to be committed before we were even born. And he put himself on the cross for us. He fought for us. We didn't fight for him. But I think we're realizing that we need to stand up and we need to fight for our country. And by fighting for our country, we need to fight for God. We need to fight for God, and we need to fight to bring Jesus back into our lives. It's so important. I don't know. Anyways, that's just my take on it. And I really needed yesterday. I did. I cheered so loud. I felt like I was at a rock concert. Good music, good information, good people talking about, things that are important to us, our kids, our family, our livelihood. They even had Marlena, who defied the Tyrannosaurus Rex's orders last year and then was arrested. And I don't know, but if you go on YouTube, you can find the actual thing from the judge. And the judge was obnoxious. Here in Michigan, it is, and I'm telling you, we are a corrupt state. And its tentacles go deep. They really do. And we have to stand up for each other, and we have to fight for each other. This poor woman came from a communist country to America. She came legally. And I just want to, let me just stop right here, because I am not against immigration. I come from immigrants. I am not against immigration. I am against illegal immigration. My family came into this country legally. They did it the right way. America was built on immigrants. There is such a melting pot in the U.S. All of the European nations and in Asia and everywhere and in Spain, and it doesn't matter, but we came here, and it's not that we don't want immigrants. We welcome everybody in the United States, but you have to come legally. This wave, this tidal wave of illegal immigration that's allowing children to come here alone without their families. And there is nothing stopping these children that are coming over now and being held in these, wherever they're at. Anybody can be like, oh, I want to be a sponsor. And they're not vetting these people. These people can be pedophiles. They can have serious, and I understand people have records and people make changes in their lives. But these people are not even doing a criminal check. They're not. And most people in the healthcare, or not the healthcare, but in the welfare system, and with children who are placed in with DHHS, people who are taken out of their homes, the foster care system. That's what I meant to say. Excuse me. The foster care system, at least in Michigan, and I don't know about the USA, but I can vouch for in Michigan, because I had a friend of mine who was trying to adopt two brothers. It took her almost 3 years. Because of the foster care system, and she went through loops and hoops of fire to get these kids in Michigan. These are local kids, and we have kids coming over from now other countries, and they're just letting anybody sign up and take them. They're not checking them. I can't even. It's just ridiculous, guys. So anywho, I'm gonna end on that, and I want to just tell anybody. You don't have to be a Bible thumper. You just have to believe in God. If you believe in God, you don't have to. It's okay not to go to a church. If it's not in you, if you're not comfortable with it, it's okay. Keep your faith. Keep your faith. Keep that candle burning. God is with you wherever you go. I have to remind myself a lot of that when my agoraphobia kicks in, that I'm not alone. God's with me. I'm not alone. I am not alone in this car. I'm not alone in the store. God's with me. I'm good. I'm good. I got God. And I want you to remember that too. Um, as long as you're not harming anybody, you're not hurting nobody, you're good. Because I don't judge people. I'm not in a place to judge. That's not my place to judge people. I form my opinions based on the actions of people. Which, mind you, again, I've made some bad decisions, bad choices in my life, which has led me to where I am, but that's me. That's why I have no place to judge anybody. I can offer my opinion. I can offer my thoughts on things, but I am no better than anybody else. I'm just trying to help others that may have felt similar to me and just want to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Keep following me. Keep watching. Hit the like and the subscribe. Share it if you want. I'll drop the links for the great music that I heard from the hip hop patriot Jeremy Harrell, which was so awesome with my grandkid. Took pictures, signed hats. He was awesome with my grandkid, and she needed it. Dave Bray, another awesome musician who signed hats and took pictures with my grandkid. And I'll drop the link for Stand Up Michigan again in the America's Voice, where you can catch Jeremy. He does his 2 shows a day, and you can catch him there. I don't know, maybe I won't be on. It's my late night and my throat's killing me, as you can see. I sound like a man, and I'm so sorry. My allergies are just, it was outside. We were outside a lot in that humid, yucky weather yesterday. Oh my God. But I just want to tell you, one more thing. On the way home, we were on the way home, and it was a long day. It was like a 2.5 hour drive from my house, from where my family came from. It was even further drive for them. But from my house, it was almost a 2.5 hour drive to get there. On the way home, we saw a double rainbow. And I have to tell you, I've never seen a rainbow so prominent where you could see the curve and it went up into the clouds. It was beautiful. I'm going to put that as my thumb if I can find the picture. But I wish we could see it with my eyes, because I don't think my camera did it justice. But you could see each individual. You remember Roy G. Biv? Red, yellow, orange, or what is it? Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, indigo, blue, violet. Anyways, you could see each individual color of that rainbow, and it was so vibrant. It usually they're faint. The rainbows are faint, but this one was just, it was crazy vibrant red, or bright. It was and you could see the red, the yellow, the orange, and you could even see like the green, the blue, the indigo, and the violet. It was so crazy. Anyways, just confirmed my faith that I was meant to be there yesterday. I was meant to have my bucket filled, because it's been a rough couple weeks for me. And that's not your problem. That's mine. But that's why I say be kind. You don't know. You don't need to know. It's okay. Just be kind. That's all you need to do. Just be kind, folks. All right. I love you. Have a great day.